All right, this is Mobile Gamer Nerd, and we are back with another Champion Spotlight video. Today we're going to be talking about Soulbond Bowyer. Now, why is Soulbond Bowyer good? I'll tell you why. It's not just because you're going to mess up her name all the time. I always mess it up. Soulbond Bowyer. It's just annoying to say. But she is a very good hero. She has a lot of really good skills. She's useful in probably, I would say, half of the areas of this game, just because of her turn meter ability and because of her attack power on those abilities. Now, this version is basically set up mainly for Spider, Fire Knight, and sometimes Arena. The reason that we have her set up in lifesteal is because we want her to stay alive. We want her to be able to re-heal herself, especially in the spider's den, and make sure that she gets off her turns. We want also high accuracy so she can actually hit when she goes to decrease turn meter. So let's look at her skills real quick. She has an AoE on her A1. So what that means is that she is immediately usable as a campaign farmer. You can get her built up with a ton of crit damage and attack, and you can build her to be more of a campaign farmer. Now, I don't think I have her set up that way. I kind of have her in a hybrid build right now, but I'll show you that in a sec. This skill right here is amazing. It attacks one enemy, has an additional 25% chance of inflicting a critical hit. That means you can build her with 75% crit rate, and she'll still crit. She will ignore 75% of the target's defense. So what you can do here is, A, if you're going to use her mainly for arena, you could put her in a ignored defense gear thing. And there you go. Boom. Now you've got 100% defense that she'll just ignore, which is why her attack does so high. So that is good. And then this one's really good because she has an additional 25% chance of inflicting a critical hit, as always. And she also has a 75% chance of fully depleting the target's turn meter. That means all of it. In case you didn't know what fully meant, I feel like you guys did. I feel like you knew what fully meant, but I'm going to tell you that it means all of it. Why is that awesome? Because then nothing gets a turn. That's kind of how it works. You put her in a team with another like turn meter person, like Armiger. There you go. Boom. No turn meters. The best thing ever. We do have her in crit rate. Is her aura. I don't really use it that much. Sometimes, just depend. Honestly, the only time I use it is when there's no other aura available. So Phantom Touch we have, so she has the extra attack there. Very nice. Masteries. Let's look. We have her down the basic War Master thing. If you wanted to get her into campaign farming, kind of like Kale, you would really just go into this, the increased speed for every enemy killed, and then you would go into this with the shield or reducing a random cooldown, and then probably here for placing a shield so that way she doesn't die. Granted, at this point where I'm at, she doesn't die anyway, but you never know. I think it's happened once. And then we've got her going down into accuracy because we want her to be able to hit her freaking turn meter reduction. Very important, very important. All right, skills and artifacts. Here we go. So, artifacts she's got lifesteal, and she has this little tidbit, which basically increases her attack and ignores 5% of the enemy defense. So essentially, we've got her at 80% of ignoring defense. That is good enough. If you want to kill that extra 20%, you're more than welcome to, but the lifesteal is way more important than reducing, than ignoring defense, I would say, because it's just more useful for the areas that we're going to bring her into. Total stats for Soulbond right now, 30,000 HP, 3,884 attack. I did have her over 4,000 at one point, but I needed to sacrifice some attack in order to get accuracy. Defense, we have 1,800, which is very low. We should probably be at least 2,000. Speed is 154, insanely low. So like I said, her build definitely has some stuff that we can work on. Crit rate is 62, could also be higher. We want it to be in that 75 range. But basically, this is like having 82, 87% because of the 25% increase in crit rate. Crit damage, we have 171. Respectable, not perfect. Over 200 would be best. Resist, I would leave some resist on her because you don't want her to get killed from poisons in the spider just in case she becomes a target. But it's not the main stat. And then accuracy is 148, also kind of low. We probably want to get that around 200. I believe we only had this accuracy banner, which is a 4-star. So I will be farming to see if I can get another one that's a little bit better in a 6-star version. We'll see how it goes. That's her skills. We have speed on the boots. We have attack on the chest, and we have crit damage on the glove. You could put crit rate, but it's almost stupid because you don't really need a lot. You just need a few pieces to have crit rate, and then you're good. All right, so that's Soulbond. Where do we use her? Let's look at what we do with her. So campaign. This is what I do. Now the only downside to using her as a campaign farmer is that you have to use team setup to make it work right. So we get these two out of here, and we will put these two in. All right. And you have all these guys ready to level. We're leveling this guy to 5-star. So you put them in, and then you go into team setup. The reason we have to use team setup is because you have to go in here and you have to make sure that she's using only the first set. See? She's literally only using the first skill. Otherwise, she's going to do one hits, and your fight's going to take forever. So turn those off. Now, mine doesn't have as much tack as she should. And like I said, she's also not 100% set up as campaign farmer. She just happens to work better at where we are right now. Now, we didn't need Flinger to go first. He just happens to be faster because my Soulbond is kind of slow right now. You would want her to be probably around 200 as a campaign farmer at least, and then she would go first, and there you go. That's it. You just bring her in, and she kills everything, and you don't have to worry about it, and then you just level up your heroes. We'll do one more, just so you can kind of see that it's not a fluke. If she hits everybody and kills them all in one shot, you got a 7-second campaign farmer for 12-3 brutal. Unfortunately, like I said, he's going first, so it's kind of messing me up. And there you go. Sometimes you'll miss that last one, but either way, there you go. So 16 seconds, best time 7 seconds. It really just depends on luck. We would want to build up her attack and crit damage a little bit higher, and then you won't have that problem. So there you go. And get her speed up too, so that she's faster than everybody. And then stuff like this with Flinger doesn't happen. All right, there we go. That's campaign farming. Where else do we use her? We're gonna go into arena real quick, just because I want to see if there's a fight that we can do that I can show off what she. All right, so this could work. So this is an arena team that I use sometimes. I've been using it more than not right now. The only reason I wouldn't use it is because my Arbiter has very low speed. We want to get Arbiter speed up into insane levels. Once that's done, then I could leave Soulbond in my arena team as my defense. The reason we don't do it though is because she's not faster, and we would usually put Apothecary in here. Say this is would normally be it because he's faster than my Arbiter right now. He'll hit speed up, she'll hit speed up, and then these two definitely get their turn. The only downside to this team is that it's only got 2 attackers. Everything else is basically just, if you're trying to do a go first team where you kill everything fast, this is not optimal. It's kind of what I had before anyway with Spirit Host, but it's not optimal. So we take him out and we do this. Now, on these fights, I usually do not do auto because I need to win. I'm trying to win here now. We want to get the medals so that we can finish quests and stuff. So now we should go first. This is a good sign. Normally we won't. I mean, she's got about 200 speed. So what we do here is we get our attack up, and Death Knight is really everyone's problem. So we do this. We do the defense down. This is a really good team to show this off on, hopefully. Hopefully she doesn't get to go. And then we use this to do our nuke. All right, she's dead. Now, the problem is that this Bonehead's still alive, and this one can revive, so that kind of sucks. But either way, we can't hurt these other two until he's dead anyway. So we use Soulbond now to basically one-shot Death Knight. And remember, I'm not even that strong right now, okay? So now we can use this to remove whatever the hell debuffs they got going on. Hopefully it works. Now she's going to stun everyone, which sucks, but she just reduced the turn meter, which is nice. All right, now we got to kill this. We got to kill her because she's going to revive Death Knight, even though she's the bigger threat. So now Death Knight's back alive. Let's go here and try to take him down. All right, we got this. Get the attack up going again and a little bit of a heal. Maybe we can kill this guy again, and then we can use her. Now this is going to also take down HP of Syl because she's protecting her right now. Let's see. We still have the revive, so that's good. Get defense down, turn meter lower. See if we can kill this bastard so that we can get to Syl. All right, that's fine. We knew that was going to happen. Now she's got her AoE attack, which sucks because she's going to get feared. Do we have anything we do? So we're gonna do. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a revive. That boosts our turn meter. Then we're gonna boost turn meter again while getting HP. And then we're going to drop defense, hopefully enough to do some damage here. And that fear on her is going to suck. Hopefully we can kill. Nope, we didn't get it. So let's remove some stuff. All right, remove these buffs. Hopefully we can kill Death Knight. We did not. Of course, we're reducing turn meter on the one hero we want. Let's get this one going. 1, 2. All right, that's good. We're close. Come on, kill him. There we go. All right, so he's dead. Now that's literally the one thing we didn't want. All right, so now we've got attack everybody. That's good. Now we want to try and kill her because she had low health. So that's where she's good, is doing stuff like that. Now we get their attack back up and their turn meter. Now hopefully we can kill this little girl before she goes back to reviving that lower turn meter. And there we go. We got a win. So this is why I don't auto anymore when I'm trying to actually win fights. Some of them you can auto with this team and they'll just wreck them. It's just kind of how it is. But as you can see, Soulbond is really good at taking out heroes that are really freaking annoying. Death Knight, pain in the freaking ass. All right, can't stand him. He literally is the reason that most people in the beginning of this game, and even now, that you're just not going to be able to beat certain teams because he's so tanky that you could just put a bunch of revivers on a defense team. You could literally just do Death Knight and 4 revivers. They don't even need to win. They just keep reviving each other, and Death Knight never dies. Then there you go. But yeah, that's why we have Soulbond. She can one-shot him. If you built yours better than mine, with all, let's say you built the Soulbond with all 6-star gear, and really good accuracy and really good crit damage, like 200 plus. Yeah, she's one-shotting even some of the best Death Knights. And if you put her in some ignore defense gear, like if you're only going to use her for arena, you could put her in the ignore defense gear and she will ignore 100% of defense, and you'll probably start seeing 150 to 200k damage shots from her with an attack up buff and a defense down. So there you go. Soulbond, awesome in the arena, helps me get wins. That was a longer fight, a little bit higher power than me, and some annoying. She's really what made the fight go long, to be honest, because Madame Sarah, she keeps lowering. She's just annoying. She does look down defense, down attack, all that crap. Rhonda sucks. I don't really have any problems with her. I don't. I think I've seen maybe 1 or 2 Rondas that have pissed me off. Other than that, she's a joke. All right, so that's the arena. We do use her in tag team. I'm not going to show it because we just showed arena, but we do have her in our defense team here. There you go. So we have her with all my nukers. Very good, because for some reason Death Knight's always at the end. So we do have Soulbond in there. Now, Clan Boss, we don't use her. Doom Tower, I don't believe I use her anywhere in here, to be honest. I think she's kind of just an extra, like if you want more damage, but I don't think most of my teams require her because there's not a lot of turn meter control bosses in Doom Tower. So we probably won't use her there. Dungeons, we do use her a lot. You can use her anywhere. She's a damage dealer. She does good damage in pretty much any potion keep, so you don't have to worry about that. Minotaur, we do not use her because we have the main starting 4, so we don't use her there. Her bread and butter really would be more Fire Knight and Spider's Den. Now, stage 20, say team setup. Where's my Spider 20 team? She is not in the Spider 20 team as of this second. The only reason she is not is because I haven't gotten Drexstar to the point where he can take the tanking all by himself. So I have Zephyr as my second. Once I get Drexstar to like a really high defense to where I know he's 100% not going to die every single time, which right now he doesn't. Sometimes he doesn't die. I did a run on Spider 20 and on stream, and he didn't die. So once he's gone, I would 100% switch her for Soulbond. That way you keep the turn meter down, and it'll make the fight go way quicker. As of right now, we don't use her there. So we're going to go to 15 just so you can kind of see what she does. And that's the only reason I'll bring her in there. That's literally it, just because I have Zephyr in there as an extra. So this is what she does. Team setup. We go to Spider 15. Zephyr's in there. And we start. And this is really where she started becoming important, was in Spider. And then she ended up joining my Fire Knight team as well. And now she's kind of just one of the best heroes I have for reducing turn meter in fights. I use her in the Twin Towers. Sorry, I always call it Twin Towers. In the what is it? The Iron Twins Fortress. Let's see. And I have her AI set up to where she always uses the single target hits this time rather than just her AOE, because the AOE is more for campaign farming. So we have her using her single target hits as first priority. See, she does pretty good damage in here. The turn meter reduction is her priority. because you want her to always use the turn meter reduction first, always. And basically, between her and Armiger and Crimson Slayer, they can pretty much keep him on lock for a pretty decent time. I don't think I've ever had it where the spider doesn't get a turn, but it's definitely something that you could do if your team was fast enough. So there you go. First heal. And now we've got 2 turns. This is where things can get a little hairy if you get a stun or something like that on one of them. And then all of a sudden, the spiders will be targeting her, and then everything goes to shite. So hopefully that doesn't happen here, and she's fast enough to get through it. There we go. We got debuff removal. So we're good. Now she can, there you go. Look at that. Hold turn meter gone from using that skill, which is what we wanted. And unfortunately, yes, these fights take a little while. Essentially the first round before he heals is really you kind of want them to miss. Like you kind of want them to miss the turn meter reductions in the first round because you just want that first heal to go off, and then you want all of it to all the turn meters to hit after that. Which there you go, turn meter reduction. Hopefully, essentially what you want is you want Armiger to keep the turn meter dropping every round, and then you kind of want Crimson and Soulbond to come in every once in a while and drop the turn meter when it's necessary. Sometimes it lines up, sometimes it doesn't. That's just the way it works. I don't know if you can hear my dog yawning, but he came up here to hang out while we do Soulbond's video. So if you hear some kind of a weird dog noise, just know it's not me. I mean, it could be me. I could be lying. Maybe I just like making dog noises. I honestly can't wait until I have a team that I can put together in here that is a fast farm. It would be very nice. But we don't have it yet. I'm waiting for Grush. I think he's going to be a good addition to this team. And then once we get some more attack on some of these guys, I feel like it's going to be a lot easier. And it's funny because actually, like 4 or 5 minutes ain't long for me personally. It sucks if you want to farm, but for me, just to beat a fight, I'm mad at 5 minutes. Like, I'm surprised I even beat half these fights. I don't know. I think that was the heal, right? So that bad attack went off at the perfect time. So there you go. We don't even have to worry about it. Laid to rest. I think this is where Soulbond became like my favorite of the turn meter heroes, and why I started using her a lot on random bosses. Because I was like, I'm curious. I'm like, because the turn meter thing was kind of weird to me. Like I didn't get it at first. Like I know it seems so dumb. You just hit them and they don't get an attack. It's silly, but you don't really understand the function of decreased turn meter. There you go, no turn meter until you really get into some of these fights like 15 and plus. You really start to see turn meter manipulation as just crazy. It's just like, holy crap, I didn't think that I could do this. The other thing is you usually don't have 3 heroes that are level 60 in the beginning that can turn meter reduction. So that's also probably why you don't think about it like that. But then you'll start building a couple different ones and you're like, holy crap, this is amazing. Bosses don't get turns anymore. Come on, just hit him. It's one hit, guys. Come on. You got it. You can do it. There we go. Laid to rest. Say goodbye, you dumbass spider. Oh, look at this. Did we get accuracy? No, we got defense, which is actually good for the dwarves. So that's spider. And then her other place, as we said before, is the Fur Knight. Going in the Fur Knight. All right, this one we are going to do stage 20 because she is a part of my stage 20 team. So we want Fire Knight 20. Boom. Now, this is a more defensive fight. It's mainly set up to where I'm not really in this to beat him faster. The waves take a little bit longer, but the boss takes a little bit longer. But the thing is that the boss's shield almost never goes back up. Like once it's down and you get the turn meter started, he pretty much never gets a turn. maybe 1 or 2 turns if your heroes are missing their debuffs. So really just depends on luck at that point. But yeah, I have had fights that literally you just sit there and watch him and he just doesn't drop his shield because you keep dropping his turn meter. And Soulbond's really great for that, especially when you get to like the very, very end of his action bar, and then all of a sudden she uses that shot, and then boom, right back down to 0, and you ain't got to worry again for another probably 2 or 3 rounds. Like I said though, the only thing that sucks though is that the campaign, that's something I'm talking about. The waves just take too long because this team doesn't have like a solid nuker. That's right, and he decreases turn meter also, which is nice in the fights. Unfortunately, Soul Bond usually ends up killing something before she turns reduces the turn meter. I don't know if that's bad or good. I don't know if you like that. I kind of like it. I think I'd rather something be dead instead of having its turn meter reduced. I hope you guys like 2 minute wave clears. No, not really 2 minutes. It's actually longer. No, each wave's about a minute and a half, I think. Right? That's what the last one was. If we get some sleeps in, it goes quicker because then they don't get turns and we don't have to wait for their turns to go. Stun would be better though, and a smite would be nice. From there you go. Got a smite. Still coming in with smite. I feel like I've watched this fight so many times because I've done videos on, I believe, everybody in this team now, except for Sil. We've done. I almost feel like I don't even have to do a video for Sil. Like, why would I even do a video for Sil? It's like, oh, is Sil good? And where is she good? Everywhere. That's where she's good. She's good everywhere. I'm still going to do a video on her just so you can kind of see how I built her. But yeah, she's good everywhere. She's like her and Apothecary. Good everywhere. Soulbond is good in pretty much any Spirit Affinity area that you need someone for Spirit Affinity. So if you got a Force monster, Soulbond is your lady. She used her. That's the problem, getting the setup. Let's see, all right, so they got the turn meter down. She got an extra turn, which also decreased turn meter, which is very nice. All right, she already used the turn meter reduction skill, so it's gone. Yeah, it really just depends on Sil and Armiger. If those two hit every time, basically Soulbond becomes your, I guess you could say your catch. So she becomes the way of keeping the turn meter all the way down and let them do their job. But say she'll miss in here because it's the wrong affinity. So there you go, no more turn meter. And this is why Soulbond rocks. And she does an insane amount of damage with her attacks. I mean, just don't look at like the total damage. All right. And the reason I'm saying that is because like I'm an earlier game player. I'm not, end game. I don't have like the best 80 to 90K Soulbond built. But you can see everybody else is doing like 13s, 17s, 5s. The highest one was, I think, what was it? Crimson Slayer, and she did like 17K damage. Soulbond just did 43. So just look at the difference in attack power. That was in her defense down skill. That was her turn meter reduction. The other one does insane. There you go. That's the big one. 40,000 on that hit. So yeah, she's definitely capable of doing some crazy damage. I would say out of everybody in this team, if I were to rebuild one of them, it would definitely be Soulbond to make her stronger, to make the fights go quicker. And that goes for pretty much any area that any team that I have her in. I would just make sure that she's stronger so that we can kill the boss faster now instead of waiting, 10 minutes to do things. This fight's a little bit longer. Sometimes it takes, I mean, we are on stage 20. It's not like we're doing stage 10, stage 15, and we are only using mystery shards. So we're limited on what we can do, is what I'm saying. So yeah, if you see a 5 to 7 minute fight on a stage 20 dungeon, I'm not even going to be that mad about it. At least I know I can beat it consistently, and I can go put this on, and then I can go make coffee. I can work out. I can eat a cookie. I can write a soliloquy. I can do. There's a lot of things I can do in 7 minutes. I could take a whiz. I know a lot of people like to take whizzes while playing Raid Shadow Legends. I feel like most of Raid Shadow Legends is played in the bathroom. And you can argue with that if you want, by the way. I'm holding true. I believe that most Raid Shadow Legends is played in the bathroom or on a computer when you're trying to show somebody how to beat something. It's not actually that bad. Six, yeah, I figured about 7 minutes ish. I feel like I've had faster runs and I don't remember who I used for that faster run. We'll look. We'll see at the end when we're done. But there you go. We're basically there. Oh, she missed it. And dead. There you go. So best time was 6 minutes and 18 seconds. So that actually was my best time. There you go. We just broke our own record. 6 minutes and 18 seconds on Fire Night 20. So there you go. Soulbond, as you can see, did about 1.172 million. So she was the top damage dealer, even without being super built. Crimson Slayer obviously is the number two, but she also has an AoE attack that she uses a lot more than Soulbond because I have her set to use her single targets. So yeah, she's actually the strongest in this fight. And now we've got this. What is this? Ignores. Oh, look at that. Ignores 25% of enemy defense. So yeah, this is what you would put on her. Is Savage, if you wanted to get her in the arena and really start kicking people's asses. There you go. 100%. All right. So that is Soulbond in a nutshell. We use her as a campaign farmer. We use her in arena. We use her in Spider Knight. Spider Knight, that'd be awesome, right? We just start combining bosses in Spider, and we use her in Fire Knight. She is a barbarian, and she is on my team for beating the barbarian faction. So we did use her to finish completely the barbarian faction crypt. It is our first one that we beat. I can't show it because obviously it's not open right now. That is Soulbond. If you pull her, I would build her immediately. I never really realized how awesome she was the first few times I played this game. And then I started using her because I had heard, honestly, I heard she was good. I didn't even know she was good. And she was probably one of the earlier heroes that I pulled. And immediately she was amazing. I don't think there's ever been a time since I started building her that I was like, no, she's not good. This is a good hero from start to finish. She has not fallen off. She does exactly what she's supposed to do in the areas she's supposed to do them. And that's about it. Yeah. So, if you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them below. I have no problem answering questions. That's really it. Go get your Soul Bond, go get your Fire Knight wins, go get your Spider wins, and tell Death Knight to kiss your ass. Your sexy, dirty gold. I don't know what's on her. Is that gold paint? Your sexy gold dirty body and and kill that Death Knight, kill that Deliana, kill every Force Affinity hero, kill that Siphi if you want. Sometimes that works there too. Any annoying hero that pisses you off, just kill him in one shot. That's what I would do. Soulbond Bowyer, the one shot queen. This is Mobile Gamer Nerd. You guys take care.